Hi, I'm Squadron Leader Mark Discoom, Officer Commanding Designate of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, and I'm very lucky to be sitting here at RAF Coningsby and being able to fly both the Spitfire and the Hurricane. For me, coming back to fly 1940s technology means stepping back into a more visceral experience. There's a lot more feedback from the aircraft, the smells, the sounds, the vibration. I say to a lot of people, the first time I got into a Spitfire, and you shut the canopy and you smell it, it's reminiscent of opening an old book. It's very evocative, and you just almost feel part of the history. The aircraft we've got here have all got fantastic war records, so being entrusted with that and to go flying them is a real privilege. Starting the aircraft up for the first time is a real thrill. You know, the sounds, the roar from the engine, and it is a 1400 horsepower Merlin engine that sits beneath the bonnet. Flying it is beautiful. Many of the World War II veterans would say it was, you never got into a Spitfire, you strap one on. And as soon as I flew it, I kind of felt that way. Incredibly responsive, light on the controls, and just a joy. And looking out onto those famous elliptical wings just ended up with a smile on my face. I think any pilot can't help but say that they smile like a Cheshire cat when flying a Spitfire.
So I'm Lewis and I work in marketing at CCM, and the link between the RAF, the different charities and CCM itself comes together quite nicely as you climb a little higher in the family tree. So Austin, the current owner and managing director, his grandfather was actually in the RAF and he was shot down as he headed out on a raid over Magdeburg in Germany. He was returning from his mission back in 1944 and he was shot down by a German night fighter, and 7 crewmen were in that aircraft, 5 of which died, one of which was Austin's grandfather, Sidney Hennon. So it's relevant and it's a part of the history of the Clues family, so it's only right that they've made this model of Spitfire, yet they are looking to give something back to the RAF family, essentially, from one family to another. And with this bike, that's kind of where the link meets. So you've got a Spitfire bike, it's been styled and mixed to look like and represent the Spitfire plane that was flown back in World War II. And on top of that, it's also raising money for really worthy causes and giving something back to the servicemen of the RAF.
My name is Mark Quinn. I'm the Regional Director of the Royal Air Benevolent Fund, covering the Central North, England and Wales. We're absolutely delighted with the support that we're getting from CCM and from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight in support of this particular project. The beneficiaries from this particular project will be the members of the Royal Air Force family, and we provide practical, emotional and financial support to any members of the Royal Air Force family that need it.
And they're lovely bikes. Whoever gets one of those has got a dream. Oh boy, I wish I was young to get one. I'd certainly belt that along a bit. The lovely roar from that engine. Oh, almost like the Merlin, you know. Dear me.
So distinctive. You'll hear that coming through villages and stuff, won't you?
Oh, you can hear that coming through the village. You know, exactly like a Merlin going over. There you go.
We are delighted to be associated with this particular project. The beneficiaries will continue to see the benefits of this for years to come, and the bike is an absolutely fantastic bike and it's awesome to be associated with it.
I think the big thing about the Spitfire aircraft that it is about 2 things. It's a beautiful body, but behind it a lovely engine as well, and those are those 2 things. Engine is the primary aspect. So having a motorbike where it's stripped back and it's really down to that engine, some beautiful lines, some beautiful curves on a bike is evocative of the aircraft itself. You know, it makes me look at the bike and it makes me smile. So I think that's what happens with a lot of the Spitfire. It's somebody that even doesn't like an aircraft looks at a Spitfire and smiles, and I see that in this bike, that you look at it and you can't help but smile. For us, one of the largest pieces of our work here, and one of the biggest privileges, most people think it's flying, is meeting the veterans, to keep their memory alive for the sacrifice they gave to our country and our freedom. So knowing that there's a lot of the work and effort by CCM and proceeds from the bike sales going towards supporting the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund is incredibly important to us here, both at the flight and the Royal Air Force as a whole.